you made the decision to start a business. So you got to watch what you wish for. What you're asking for is you want to be overworked and underpaid. So then
Mm.
maybe one day, if you're lucky, you'll be overpaid and underworked. That's kind of the goal, I think, of every entrepreneur. But
Hey everyone, welcome to Tap Into Wisdom. My guest today is Jaime Hepp, president and founder of TAG. In an age where business is obsessed with digital scale, Jaime has built a remarkably human-centric company, and I'm really elated to have such a prominent person on today's show. Welcome, Jaime.
well, thank you, Kwame. It's good to be here.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, in common layman's terms, we're basically a face-to-face sales organization, right? So people find us in retail stores. So when you walk into a Costco and there's a group of young professionals there trying to convince you to switch over to AT&T as an example, and hey, we'll give you a free iPhone or free Android if you do
Yeah.
so. That would be one of our people. We also go door to door, literally knock on doors in residential neighborhoods. We go business to business. But the common thread is all these big companies, like AT&T, Amazon, the list goes on. They need new customers. And, television commercials, are they as effective as they once were? I don't know how many people are sitting around watching the commercials. Telemarketing, how effective is that? I mean, my phone doesn't even ring if it's an unrecognized number.
Yeah.
Uh, Spamming, I mean, people don't even read good emails, let alone bad emails, right? So it's like these
Right.
companies are frustrated with like, how do we get more market share? And our competitive advantage is, hey, we've got young, dynamic, motivated, outgoing salespeople that can drive new customers to your platform. And that's what we do all across really the United States and Canada. So I've been doing that for around 30 years. And
Yeah.
then I think you caught wind of me because I recently published a book. There's my little
Yeah.
plug on book. So grow right now. So
Yeah.
it became an
I mean,
Amazon. Well, you got it. You bought the
yes.
book. You- That's awesome. Yeah, it
Yeah.
became an Amazon bestseller for a short period of time. The joke I have
Oh,
with my wife, it's under the self-help category. I said, well, for those people feeling selfish or helpless, it's a great book for them. It's the
yeah.
whole self-help. But I wrote it for my kids. I spent 14 years writing the book for my kids in the event that if I were to die as a young dad, instead of my kids just asking my wife, like, well, tell me about dad. What was he like? I wanted to give them something on, hey, here's dad talking to you.
Yeah.
So really, it's a book for them. My goal with the book is that all three of my kids give me a 5-star rating, and we haven't
Wow.
finished the book yet. We're around 3/4 through, and thus far, like, Dad, we love the book. But anyway, that's kind of my story. I live in Laguna Niguel. That's kind of where I live. That
Yeah.
beautiful area in California. Married, 3 kids, and that's my story, Kwame.
Wow. I will be the one that will give you 5 stars as well.
Oh,
In
great,
addition to your children, yes.
awesome.
So you've grown tag with some of the biggest companies in North America, serving a lot of customers annually. But you've also been deliberate about not burning your team out. So when you think about scaling a sales and consulting business, what has been the biggest tension you've had to navigate between aggressive growth and keeping your people healthy and engaged?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're kind of striking a chord that means a lot to me. The culture, with your team is super important. And you were kind of running through some of the accolades like year over year. I don't even know for how many years we were ranked, one of the best places to work in Southern California. We were rated nationally as top 101 best and brightest companies in the United States. But all that is just really on culture. Like the team, the people that I work with, they have to win. And how I define winning, they have to experience personal growth. Like, I don't want them going to work to do a job. I want them coming to work and growing, and their families see significant growth in them. They're like, hey, whatever you're doing at work, I like what I see. So I put a lot of emphasis on, personal growth. We read lots of good books. We go to great seminars together. So they have to grow. They have to be compensated handsomely. Like, they've got to make money. I mean, in today's crazy high expense day and age. Like, I heard the average age to buy a home now is in the
Yeah.
50s in the United States. Like, people don't want to wait till they're 50 to buy a house. So I want my people making really good money. So we put emphasis on that. So they've got to make money, they've got to experience personal growth, and they have to have a bunch of fun doing it. Like, it can't be
Wow.
boring work. It's got to be
Yeah.
fun. And
Yeah.
believe me, as we're talking about going door to door and things like that, you'd be like, fun. Like, you're dealing with rejection, and like you're interrupting people, you're throwing yourself out there. Believe me, we make it as fun as humanly possible, and there's lots of laughter and there's lots of smiles happening all day long, but I want my people experiencing a lot of fun. So those are kind of my three go-tos with culture. The
Yeah.
frustrating part as you're trying to scale is if you don't do it with integrity, like, these big name clients that I work with,
Yeah.
they've got zero tolerance for bad behavior. Like, they know they're in control of the
Yeah.
relationship. Like I need them way more than they need me. I understand that. So we have to make sure that we, you know, represent them with the utmost professionalism, the utmost integrity. If we meet a customer who's having a bad day, and they take it out on us, well, we
Yeah.
can't retaliate back. We have to put a smile. Oh, I'm really sorry to bother you, sir. My
Yeah.
bad. Have a great day. Like, we have to disengage as great as we can, and that's what our clients expect, and that's the reputation we have. Our clients believe that we represent them better than they can represent themselves. So that
Wow. Wow.
professionalism is
Wow.
huge.
You made mention of they need you more than you need them. Can you throw a bit light on that? Because if you are helping them with your services, don't they have much friction on their side because they have the problem? I would want you to throw a bit more light on the fact that you need them more than they need you.
Yeah, well, we're just a small business. Like, we're a ma and pa shop compared to, again, again, Amazon. I mean, they're huge. They're a huge company. Like, with or if we went away, they're going to do just fine. AT&T is going to do just fine on their own. They don't necessarily need us. Now, they have some pain points. They want market share. Like, there's, every business has its challenges and problems. And generally speaking, these big companies, they don't have a dynamic sales force.
Hmm.
That's one of the holes that they have. Like, Amazon didn't build their business with a dynamic sales force. They built an unbelievable product that's superior in being the most customer centric company on the
Yeah.
planet, at least in my opinion. You don't like something from Amazon, you can send it back. They package it for you. You
Yeah.
drop it off. Oh, I just changed my mind. Like, eh, you know, they're unbelievable. They're the best at what they do. And
Eh,
so easy for me to sell a product like that. Like, I would buy it all day long. Um, AT&T, if somebody's giving me a free iPhone 17, if I switch over to AT&T, I mean, I could sell that all day long. So all of our sales are relatively simple in our business,
Yeah.
but they have such an unbelievable reputation. We just know we have to treat them with the utmost respect.
Yeah.
Like, just, they are the boss. They are the client, whatever you want and need. We're aligned with values. It's all about integrity and serving the customer. So we feel great in what we're doing. We're not ripping anybody off with a bad product or anything like that. Like, we're not like a used car sales organization. Like, we vet out our clients. They have unbelievable products and services. And then we just have to treat them with the utmost respect.
Wow, wow, very, very insightful. You also made mention of growth when you are coping with your team. What? are some values and characters that you expect your team to inhabit in order to grow well whilst they are in the workflow?
Yeah. Well, several things. I mean, just a couple off the top of my head is, character. So I want people growing in character.
Yeah.
Now, there's little things like with character, right? Like, you go to a fast food place and you ask for a cup of water, right? Now, there is temptation. You could fill it up with Coca-Cola or you could fill it up with the free water. I mean, you didn't
Yeah.
pay for the Coke. And so again, I just want people making those little decisions like, well, listen, I asked for a free cup of water. Of course, I'm only going to get water. I'm not going to sneak something. I'm not going to compromise my character. So we go through all these little scenarios that happen during the course of the day to make sure that, listen, we want you growing in character, that you're a good, honest, integrity driven person. We also instill the value of service. Like, hey, this isn't all about you and your personal gain. Like, what can I get out of this? No, how are you serving other people? How are you making other people's lives around you better? Like,
Mm.
what are you doing for your community? What are you doing for your family? So we like
Wow.
kind of poking those questions at people to make sure that they're really growing in their service and their leadership character. Again, the list goes on, Kwame, but we want our people growing. So,
Yeah.
the number of books that we give our people to read and the book studies that we do together from John Maxwell, Stephen Covey, Ken Blanchard. I mean, the list goes on. These guys are just, some of the best teachers out there. And, we
Wow.
spend good money joining those conferences and reading their books.
Wow, wow, wow. What you just said also speaks something to me because I play the piano in the church and I also have students with I give lessons to, and one of my students, she is 8 years of age, and according to her mom, it was the mom's dream for the child to be playing in the church.
Mm.
And it was something that was really on her heart. So when the mom was telling me about her dream and when she sees the daughter playing the piano and seeing myself as part of the journey I'm walking the child through, I feel I'm fulfilling something and I'm serving something meaningful in her life. So you've really drawn my mind to such picture as well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. I love
It's
it. I mean,
really,
that's what it's all about. It's all about, are other people better because of you? Are other people more blessed because of you?
yeah,
Really, there's two kinds of people on the planet. There's lifters, people that lift you up, and
yeah,
there's leaners, people that sort of push you down. So,
yeah.
you want to be a lifter with your community. So good for
Mhm.
you for doing that.
Thank you very much. Yeah. One thing that came true in the feedback from your team is that people describe you as coach and mentor and not only as the boss. They mention you consistently add value just by being around, that you put your time into developing individuals, In a high pressure sales environment, how do you protect that coaching mindset? And doesn't that pull you away from the revenue? Because I believe you are a coach, you mentor people, and a philanthropy as well. So doesn't that pull you away from a revenue while you keep on to scale your business?
Well, actually, just the opposite, because the the better that my people are, like the more they grow, the more revenue we create. So
Mm,
it's like I'm not necessarily the revenue creator, if you will. Although, I mean, you could look at it like I'm the chief revenue officer, like I'm leading a team, but the focus is all on them. Like if they're growing and they're happy and they're successful
yeah.
at what they're doing, well, then the revenue takes care of itself. I mean, look at an organization that's the opposite, where the people are sort of checking out and they're not growing. I mean, I could make an argument that that revenue is decreasing. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, even take a look at some, I mean, I don't know if you're catching wind of some of these recruits that some of these guys like Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are fighting
Yeah.
for engineers. There's some of these recruits that are offered like $250 million to join their organization, right? So So, I
Ooh.
mean, they're putting I mean, that's like I thought baseball contracts were huge or, football, but it's like, wow, $250 million for a young, early 20s something engineer.
Wow.
Um, well, so they understand, like, if we get the right people on the bus, revenue will take care of itself. Like, whoever
Yeah.
this $250 million recruit is, something tells me that person is gonna bring billions into
Wow.
Facebook or
Wow.
Tesla. So again, their growth equals revenue. That's how every
Yeah.
CEO really
Yeah.
should be looking at their
True.
business. That if your people win, your company will win.
Very true. It's good for companies to invest in hiring as well. That's really insightful. Tag also started with outsource sales campaigns for businesses, and now you are working at scale with mega clients in energy, telecom, and e-commerce. What triggered that evolution? And as you've scaled, how do you think about keeping Tag innovative and not just becoming another vendor?
Um, well, I mean, I've seen so when I first started years ago and we were selling coupons door to door,
Yeah.
um, I mean, I did see the value of what we were doing. Like if we're working on a little restaurant in a city, like, people started going to that restaurant, like, we drove traffic, like, the power of
Yeah.
just face-to-face, recommendations, like, sales and again, even people that would say no to us, we'd still say, "Hey, if you get a chance, come on down to that restaurant. It's a great place. We'd love to see you there." Like, it's a personal invitation. Like, we drove traffic to places, so we just took getting letters of recommendation very seriously, in the beginning, and obviously we still do today.
Yeah.
But we wanted a letter of recommendation that then turned into another letter of recommendation, turned into another letter of recommendation, and these small little places. Um, it's even like I remember Big O Tires was one of our clients. My son, he turned 16. He's got a car now, and I'm like, you got to go to Big O Tires. I'm a big fan of them. They used to be a client of mine years ago. They're a
Yeah.
fairly small business compared to AT&T or Amazon, but I fell in love with them and they fell in love with us. They gave us a letter of recommendation and then it went to Major League Baseball and then one thing led to another and now here we are working with the big boys, you
Wow.
know, and we have to just do an unbelievable job for them. Um so that's really what it is, just, finding out clearly what do you want? What does a good customer look like for you? Give
Yeah.
us this profile. What does success look like?
Hmm.
And hey, we're really good at hitting exactly what the client wants. Like if AT&T wants 250,000 new customers next year, we're going to bring them 250,000 plus
Wow.
or minus like 2,000 one way or the other. But like
Yeah.
we're really good at hitting targets and we're really good at wowing the client with quality and integrity. So
Wow.
that will hopefully one day turn into Google as a client. They're not one yet, but we'd like
Mm.
them as a
Yeah.
client. Apple would be a great client. Microsoft would be a great client. So there's lots on the horizon that we want to do. Um, but just one thing leads to another. We have to wow our clients with just great quality.
Well, and as you've scaled Tag over these decades, like what was something about the growth that people glamorize, but you know from experience that this thing can destroy the team?
Yeah, like our kryptonite. If we're Superman and kryptonite's like, hey, he's got a vulnerable spot. It comes back to the word integrity. Like
Mhm.
if we if we have salespeople that don't represent the client well, whether again we're humans, so as a
Yeah.
sales rep, I could wake up just on the wrong side of bed. I'm having a bad day and I'm hangry. I didn't eat right and I didn't sleep well last night, and now I'm interacting with 100 people in a store. So of course I'm human and I'm going to make some mistakes. So if we are loosey goosey or like, whatever, hey client, hey, why are you making a big deal about that? Like if we ever get to that point, we're done. But
Well,
because we take it serious, like, hey, listen, we want to represent you. better than you can represent yourself. So if you tried putting your own people in the field, now they're humans too. Maybe one day there'll be AI robots out there and we'll never have these issues anymore. But something tells me we're many years away from something like that happening. At least I hope that's the case. Um, no, these are real human interactions, and
Yeah.
we're just quick to jump on the little things to make sure that we extinguish any little fires because our clients just have super high expectations. They have unbelievable brands and
Wow.
they deserve to be represented with the utmost professionalism. So, again, if we compromise integrity, we're done. We know that.
Wow. Wow. I was reading an article of Andy Christodina, the founder of Orbit Media. He said he had to hire a CEO just to stop working 16 hours a day and save his sanity. Have you ever come close to needing a move like that when you began tag?
Well, I mean, in my business, I treat I mean, people are treated like bosses. Like they all have the ability to be a boss, like in the
Yeah.
business. They're in charge of something. And I guess maybe early on in my career, I would micromanage people. So I'd say, hey, I've got this boss role for you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's like, well, Jamie's really the boss. He's holding everybody accountable to a micromanaging standard. So I had to learn as a leader to trust people. They're going to do things their way. It might be a little different than how I would have done it, but hey, I've empowered them to be the boss of a certain unit, a certain region, a certain responsibility. So I've just found the more I treat people like bosses,
Mm-hmm.
and they're accountable to their people. Like their people are going to hold them, like if a bunch of people are turning over, that would tell me there's a red flag that
Yeah.
maybe I got to jump in a little bit, like what's happening in your business. And I can jump in subtly, like a consultant approach more than a boss approach. And that helps. That's what people want. They want to be treated like equals and business partners, and that's what I've been doing. So,
Wow.
a lot of the heavy lifting in my business is done by other people. It's not
Wow.
like, I'm the guy that has to be involved in every little piece of my business. Again, I used to in the beginning, but I found I was stunting people's growth by doing so. I had to give them more responsibility and let them do things their way and not as long to me the key is we have the same values.
Yeah.
If the values are off, if I value integrity and you
Mm-hmm.
value just making money, it's all I just want to make money. Well, we're not aligned.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we're gonna have big problems.
Right.
Values are aligned from the beginning. Think about it in the dating world. I mean, that's a true case with dating too. If you've
Yeah.
got the right values as you date somebody, you got a high chance of a fruitful relationship. If the
Yeah.
values are off, well, the
Yeah.
relationship's going to end poorly.
Yeah. Right, right. So from your experience when you started out, did you ever experience such burnout?
Yes.
How did you go around with that?
Um, well, I think I experienced maybe I don't even know if burnout's the right word, but just too much stress. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, we were barely keeping our head above water financially, so I was stressed out about the money. I was
Mm.
stressed out about turnover, people leaving. They couldn't see the vision. I mean, I barely saw the vision myself, in the early stages of the business. Um, and I was just obsessed with thinking about work all the time. Like I couldn't unplug from what I was doing, and it created there was a time I remember my wife now, we've been married for I should know the answer off the top of my head real fast. Like 22 years, but I've known her for 24 years. So she's kind of been with me from the beginning. Like she was with me when the business was very small. Um, and I remember asking her one time, I'm like, I was trying to, I wasn't getting results at work and I was working like a dog and I couldn't figure out for the life of me what was wrong. And I remember going to my wife, like I tried everything in business. I'm asking everybody, what can we do different? Everybody's like, Jamie, everything's going great. Like, I don't see any holes in what you're doing, but the results were flat. I asked
Yeah.
my wife, like, hey, do you see anything different with me? Like, is there something I'm not seeing? And she's like, well, when you come home from work, you're just, you seem a little exhausted and you seem tired and you're not smiling the same way you were.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm not smiling. Like, so I remember that small, short conversation. I just made a conscious effort that, okay, I'm going to go to work tomorrow and I'm going to have a smile on my face all day long. Like, she's observing. Nobody else caught that apparently, but she did. So I'm like, I got to put a big smile on my face no matter what's going my way.
Yeah.
And then things started to turn around, and that sort of then triggered another thought, like, okay, well, when I do unplug, I've got to like enjoy other stuff. Like, I go to the gym, I don't
Wow.
have to be thinking about work. When I'm going on a date with my wife, I don't have to be thinking about work. Like, I got to be present in the moment. And
Mm-hmm.
so sometimes like just having like a date, let's say with my wife, where we're just talking about whatever she wants to talk about, no work, that fills up the tank.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden now I'm like, okay, I've got to, my at least my business might not be doing well, but at least my relationship is doing well at home. And now I can bring that momentum into work with me
Right.
and
Right.
not burn out, not
Yeah.
have fun.
Yeah.
So that's
Maintain
kind of
balance.
how I learned to cope with stress and how to avoid burnout.
Wow.
Just win in other areas of your life.
Yeah, right. In this age where a lot of small businesses are thriving to reach at the top, every business looks at his or her company and vision it to be the world best, the world best this, the world best that. And daily the founders are always getting emails, calls, replying and handling all the heavy lifting works. So, what advice would you give to a startup founder who is in such situation?
Well, in the beginning, I mean, I'm not opposed to anybody working 100-hour work week. Like, you're starting up like, listen, you made the decision to start a business. So you got to watch what you wish for. What you're asking for is you want to be overworked and underpaid. So then
Mhm.
maybe one day, if you're lucky, you'll be overpaid and underworked. That's kind of the goal, I think, of every entrepreneur. But the entry level price tag is you're going to be overworked and underpaid. So yeah, in the beginning of your venture, just be prepared to work like a dog, and you're answering your emails and you're answering calls and you're throwing yourself out there and you're going to different events and you're networking. You're just always working to get the momentum going. And I think that's really true for every career. Like I'm preparing my son that when he goes off to college and gets his first job, whatever the requirements of the job are, you have to overachieve that. You
Yeah.
have to.
Wow.
Well, the requirements are ABC, Dad. No, but it's ABC plus. Like you can't, because there'll be a slew of people hitting the requirement.
Yeah.
So how do you differentiate yourself from everybody else? Like you have to be willing to do more. You got to go. I was going to make an extra mile quote. I heard this a long time ago. When you go the extra mile, there's no traffic.
Mm.
Mile one, there's a ton of traffic, man. I live
Yeah.
in Los Angeles. 405, it's a traffic jam. So mile one, there's traffic jams all over the place. But the extra mile, smooth sailing, man.
Wow.
Free and
Wow.
clear.
Incredible insight and advice. Thank you so much, Jamie. And this has been an incredible and valuable conversation. I really appreciate your time and openness. Guys, if this resonated with you, do me a favor, share it with one person who is navigating through similar issue. I will drop the link of Jamie's book, Grow Right, Grow Right Now. It's such an incredible book written by Jamie. You really want to check it out. I'll put the link in the description below. The first 3 person to reach out to me gets a free book.
Hey.
So do well to contact me for your free book. So guys, let's keep on learning and let's keep on tapping into wisdom. Thank you very much. See you in the next episode.